Now today we're going to do some interior repair regarding these plastics, which you find on essentially every modern vehicle. So I'll show you how you can really get these pieces back together and even put a factory color finish on the plastic. Now fortunately you do not need a lot of supplies and really you don't need to spend a lot of money. So number one is a plastic bonder. This is JB Weld. I've shown this in the past. Really good stuff, close to 3,800 PSI in strength. You can pick this up at your local auto parts store, and I'll also have links to Amazon in the description box below. Sanding block you may need. Now in my case, on the other roll hoop, I had some scratches, and I lightly sanded out those scratches and then applied the color to the plastic, and it came out really well. And again, you'll see that in a moment. And regarding the color, there's a really good website. It's called Magic Mender. Really, it's more for leather repair, but there's a drop down box, and I'll show you what it looks like. Ultimately, you find your car, the make and model, and they'll have the factory color. And this is how we're going to apply the color back to the plastic. You can spray it, and I'll talk more about that. I did try to spray it. This is my second time doing this, by the way. I did it the first time on the other roll hoop. Let me show you very quickly what that looks like. So right here, this essentially looked like that one does right now. And it came out, it's a little dirty right now, but it came out really well. And really happy with the results. So as you can see, that's our goal. That's what we're trying to do here. So let's just jump right into it. So let me quickly show you the plan of attack here. This is what I did on the other one after some process of elimination, what works best. So take a look at the part here. You have a valley. It's a small valley in here. There's an inner valley and an outside valley here. And what they do at the factory, this is something I showed on Instagram very quickly. They place a wire in these two valleys, and they place both pieces together at the factory when they built this car, and they heat up the wire. And when the wire heats up, it melts these two pieces together. And you can do that if you can get the wire, you still have the wire. In my case, we're just going to use JB Weld, so I'll show you how you just mix this up. And then with a paintbrush, for example, if you have kids and they love painting, chances are you'll have a lot of these small paintbrushes where you can just insert the JB Weld inside the valley. Q-tip may even work, but I used a very small paintbrush on the first attempt and it worked out great. Okay, so not a lot. Just place it wherever you need it. Again, don't worry if it gets on the outside. We can always wait until that dries, lightly sand it down, and put the color on. Okay, so I have as much as I can fill in around the perimeter, and now I'm just joining the two pieces together. A lot of zip ties, So this is what it looks like after 15 minutes, and I'm just going to let this sit for a good probably 3 hours. I just don't want to disturb it. Now, a couple of things very quickly. The JB Weld is a nice option for two reasons. Number one, there's no odor. And I've used other brands, and I would need to wear my 3M mask here to complete the job. So this is a nice option. If you're worried about odor, there's none. Secondly, you have 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes to apply the product. There are some other products that you have 5 minutes. So read the packaging, because if you only have 5 minutes, you have to move really fast. So just keep note of that. And we'll continue here. Now, once the glue thoroughly dries, you just want to remove any excess glue. Brand new razor blade. This is key. Very sharp razor blade. Use 2 hands and slowly remove any excess glue. So this is what it looks like after 15 minutes or so. Don't worry, you cannot remove all of the excess. Don't go crazy. You just want to remove the bulk of it where it's really bulged out but this is fine. You'll see this is going to come out quite fine. So I'm going to rotate this very quickly because I want to glue right here, and then we're going to lightly sand this and apply the color. Just like so, let that dry, and we're almost done. And finally, the last step before we apply the color is removing any imperfections and scratches. So in my case right here, I have some scratches. I started with 1000 grit, a 1000 grit sanding block, just not coarse enough. I think 600 is the best bet. These are really nice, by the way, inexpensive. I'll have a link in the description box below if you do need these. And I think 600 will do the trick. And then we can go ahead and apply the color. Now, I just have a sponge, lightly damped. You can spray these as well. I did attempt that, and I didn't like it, to be perfectly honest. I think the sponge technique is just very, very easy, and it does a really good job. Now, I'm going to apply, ultimately, probably 3 coats. Very, very light coats, okay? So, sponge, little tray, just like that, and just wipe it on. Now the key thing with this is you do not want to go too heavy. Imagine you painting the walls inside your home, and if you roll on the paint too thickly, then you'll find drip marks on the wall. Same with this. Do not go too thick because the gravity will pull it down and you will see drip marks. So very, very light coating. So after 1 coat, this is what it looks like already. Very, very big difference just after 1 coat. Now, if you need to get in between any cracks, use a Q-tip, and that's what I did. Nice Q-tip. So we'll do maybe 2 more coats, and then we'll be able to reinstall it back in the vehicle. And once completed, this is what the final product looks like. This is only 2 coats. If you want to put on a 3rd, which I may do, you can, of course, go ahead and do that. So we're in good shape. The next step for me is just getting these seats back up and running, which is where that color, that sponge and color is going to come into play again. But I hope this helps a number of you out there. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.